Welcome to BMBBH News with Kev. News without the WS.
Family, and to all those who were impacted by this tragedy in our community.
Police say Wright was pulled over for having expired tabs. That's when officers learned there was a warrant out for his arrest for allegedly having a gun without a permit. As an officer is attempting to handcuff Wright, he tries to get back in the car. That's when a female officer can be heard yelling, "Taser." But the officer draws her handgun instead of her taser and shoots Wright.
This appears to me, from what I viewed and the officer's reaction and distress immediately after, that this was an accidental discharge that resulted in the tragic death of Mr. Wright.
Chief Gannon says a right-handed officer is trained to carry their handgun on their right side and their taser on their left. The BCA is investigating what happened, and the senior officer has been put on administrative leave. Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott told reporters that mistakes can't be made that lead to loss of life.
I do fully support releasing the officer of her duties.
She will not be returning to duty until this investigation has run its course. And she, for all intents and purposes, I think we can look at the video and ascertain whether or not she'll be returning.
Well, I can ascertain that Police Chief Tim Gannon, now former Police Chief Tim Gannon, does not really care about the shooting itself, only in the sense of what this does to his fellow cop sister, his fellow Blue Life, Kim Potter, who, from what I can tell in the footage that the body cam footage, is that the officer who was handcuffing Daunte Wright already had things under control. Why is she interject anyway? I mean, it wasn't until her interjection where the young man decided to, do his own thing and try to jump in the car and get away. And this is when the decision was made to deploy the quote-unquote taser, which was actually her police-issued firearm. Now, think about this. Kim Potter, 26 years on the force, field trainer, union member, honor guard, all of this on her resume. Yet she can't tell the difference between a taser and her gun, which, from what it has been reported, she was training officers on the field at the time. So here's two things that need to stop immediately. Number one, people need to stop saying that this had anything to do with a lack of training. That's not it. Because 26 years that's not saying a lack of training to me. That's just saying that, oh my God, black man, I see one. Another thing that needs to stop is these news reports, with WS included, saying that this was an accidental discharge. Number one, whatever she was holding, taser or gun, she meant to discharge. They're trying to say accidental because she screamed taser, which is total BS. Now, here's what's happened since this tragic killing. She has resigned from the force. And also the police chief, Tim Gannon, who was in that news report, has resigned as well. And also former officer Kim Potter has been charged with second-degree manslaughter. When clearly it was a murder. Now, who knows what would have happened if Daunte Wright had not tried to jump in his vehicle and get away from the police officers. There was no gun found on his person or in the car. Who knows, would he still be alive today? But I can tell you this, angry white male gunmen who are shooting are treated way better than people like Daunte Wright, Tamir Rice, Mike Brown, Philando Castile, Walter Scott, Rakia Boyd, Terrence Crutcher, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, just to name a few. And that's really sad. Just that I have to say, just to name a few. And speaking of George Floyd, this unfortunate incident did not happen very far from where George Floyd was murdered by Derek Chauvin. Now, for Mayor Mike Elliott of Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, listen, we need a little bit more than you saying stuff like, I fully support her resigning. You need to say something like, I fully support her being punished to the fullest extent of the law. Because you said it yourself, that there should be no accidents that lead to a loss of life. And just going along with what is a popular opinion, that didn't look like an accident. It doesn't make sense for it to be an accident because she was on the force for 26 goddamn years. And you can clearly hear and see the lack of empathy from the now former police chief Tim Gannon in that news report. So what do we expect? What do we expect to come of this? How severely is Kim Potter, another trigger-happy murderous cop, is going to be punished? What do we expect? Okay, think about it this way. There was a cop in Dallas who accidentally walked into the wrong apartment and gunned down a young black man that was eating ice cream. So what do you think is going to happen to her, since her charge is, after all, second-degree manslaughter, 5 to 10 years in prison? And by the way, Amber Geiger, the one that I just mentioned, is filing for an appeal. So much for giving out hugs and apologies. Kim Potter is a murderer, hands down, and she needs to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Daunte Wright, father, another victim of racist police brutality. Rest in peace, young man. That's all for now. Kev, we trust.